everyone, my name is Kirsty the Worsty and welcome to my channel. So today I wanted to share with you guys all of the books I've been accumulating over the last couple months. I've got some a little after Christmas and then into the new year, and I just wanted to start with a clean slate and show you all of the books. I couldn't even do that classic like booktuber, like look at all of my books, because I could not hold them all. Alright, let's get to work. So I'm going to start with the 4 graphic novels that I got from the library. I have no idea what I'm doing. I don't read graphic novels, but I'm a very visual person and I thought that I would enjoy graphic novels. So I picked a couple that seemed interesting to me, and this is what I came up with. First up, I have How to Talk to Girls at Parties by Neil Gaiman. I have already read this. I will refrain from telling you all of my thoughts until my January wrap up, but I wasn't super impressed, although I have never read anything by this author, so I'm not sure if this is his typical style or not, but I thought that it left me wanting for a lot, and not in such a good way, more in a way like I felt like the characters were half developed and the story was half built. So next I have Nimona by Noelle Stevenson. I actually read this already too, and I thought it was wonderful. I'll talk more about it in my wrap up, just like the other graphic novel I read, but this is basically about this girl named Nimona who is a shape-shifting sidekick to a notorious villain, and the story is just really about how not everything is black and white, how villains can sometimes be heroes and heroes can sometimes be villains. The next graphic novel I have is Friends with Boys by Faith Aaron Hicks. Every time I shoot a video he comes up here and like just hangs out over there, and it's so funny because he never does this ever. He's never up on this desk. So this book is by Faith Aaron Hicks. I first heard about her on a podcast with Rainbow Rowell where they were talking about collaborating in a future endeavor, and so I read up about her a little bit and I came up with this, which is about a young girl whose mother just, I believe she went missing. I don't think she passed away, but her mother is out of the story here, and it's just about her kind of coping with that and not being able to make a lot of friends. And also I think at the very end of the synopsis for this, and it said, and she's also haunted. So it seems like a lot's going on in this story, and I'm excited. I'm ready for it. So the last of the graphic novels that I picked up at the library is Paper Girls by Brian Vaughan. This actually was basically a cover buy. I thought that the colors were just like in my face and I loved it, and I thought that the synopsis seemed cool. It's about 4 12-year-old paper girls who basically stumble across a big mystery in their town, and I thought that that seemed really cool. It gave me a lot of like Stand By Me and the Goonies vibes, so I'm into that. Alright, so on to the books. First off I have You by Caroline Kepnes, which is a debut novel by her. The story is fantastic. It was recommended to me by a friend. I actually haven't heard a lot about this on BookTube, but I think that this is a fantastic, gripping story. It's actually an adult novel, not a young adult. It's about Joe Goldberg, who is a manager at this just local bookstore, and he comes across this girl named Gwendolyn Beck who comes into the store. They kind of hit it off and he just becomes obsessed with her. He's just absolutely obsessed with her. He basically finds a way to weave himself into her life, become her boyfriend, all the while stalking her, checking her email, responding to texts, kidnapping her ex-boyfriend, you know, all those normal things. I also picked up Hidden Bodies by Caroline Kepnes, which is the conclusion to the You duology. I believe it's a duology. This is the second one. I haven't read this yet, but I'm really excited to pick it up maybe next month. Next, I have a hardcover of The Phantom of the Opera. This is just like my second video on YouTube, so you don't really know a lot about me yet, but I can just tell you that I'm obsessed with The Phantom of the Opera. I also have a tattoo of it. Yes. So yeah, needless to say, The Phantom of the Opera is my bag, and I'm so happy to have a hardcover version of it. For those of you who don't know, by the way, The Phantom of the Opera follows this girl named Christine Daae, who is a musical ingenue. She gets tutored by this mysterious genius, this phantom who lives underneath the opera house, and it's big and mysterious, and it's this just spectacular show, and it's all about, you know, their relationship until Raoul comes into the picture, who he is Christine's childhood sweetheart who they reconnect, and it's basically that kind of twisted, scary love triangle. continuing on my Phantom of the Opera train here, I also picked up Roseblood by A.G. Howard, which just came out in January of this year. I'm super stoked to dig into this because it is a Phantom of the Opera retelling about a girl named Rune who goes to this boarding school for talented musical prodigies, and she has an issue with her talent. It literally drains her of all of her energy and makes her sick when she's finished. And she meets this guy named Thorn, who's this mysterious figure, and his father figure is this phantom who lives under the boarding school. So I'm really interested to read this. I'm about 50 pages in already, and I'm really appreciating all of the tiny little nods to the original book. I'm catching them all, and I am really impressed by A.G. Howard's research at this point. So now I can stop gushing about the Phantom of the Opera and talk about Finding Audrey by Sophie Kinsella. This is actually a book I have heard a lot about on BookTube, but it's about a girl who's struggling with an anxiety disorder, and it's just about her trying to find someone who actually she can talk to about it, and it seems like a really interesting read. I picked it up because it was at BAM, and it was like a buy two, get the third free situation, and this book was $5, and since I had heard about it, I was like, you know what, I'm gonna go for it. Next I have Nerve by Jean Ryan. So this was a book to movie adaptation that came out last year starring Emma Roberts. I really wanted to see the movie, but then I heard it was a book, so I was like, oh, I'll read the book first and then watch the movie. So the back says, playing this game means playing with your life. And it's just all about this kind of like online truth or dare high stakes game where you have to do these different tasks and you get points for them. And I got this at BAM for the buy two get three thing, and this was also $5, so score. Next here I have Survive the Night by Danielle Vega. I picked this book up merely because I thought the cover seemed really cool with the glittery skull, and then you open it and it had this kind of like cement look to it. Basically, it's about a girl who comes back from a rehab situation, and she goes to this all-night rave with a couple friends, and then basically it sounds like she finds one of her friends dead, being like gnawed up by rats, and that is like what kicks off the story. And then they're like stuck down there at this like abandoned subway station where the rave was. So this seemed really intriguing and exciting. I am excited to read this. Alright guys, we're in the home stretch now. I only have a couple left to show you. I wanted to just show you my edition of Catcher in the Rye by J.D. Salinger. This isn't really new to me. This was at my parents'. I found it when I went home. I wanted to show you, it's like the funniest thing. Nowadays, when I have books that I own, I will annotate them and write in them and stuff, so that way when I look back, I can, kind of experience the book again without having to reread it again. But when I was in high school, I guess I had different thoughts because I just wrote Kirsty's cool on the second chapter. Anyway, I'm really excited to reread Catcher in the Rye because I haven't read it since I was like 16, so I think it would be cool to like reread something that I loved in my teen years to see what my 25-year-old Kirsty has to say about it versus my 15, 16-year-old Kirsty. So yes, I'm excited to have this back in my possession. Next up here, I have Gemina by Amy Kaufman and Jay Kristoff. I almost feel like I don't need to give you a synopsis because I feel like everyone on BookTube is talking about this. And I'm sure that when I pulled this up, everyone was like, oh my gosh, all right, gotta hear about what Gemina's about again. But so I'm not gonna bore you. I read Illuminae, which is the first in the series, and then I read Gemini. I read them both in October. I got them from the library, and then over Christmas, I got them as a gift. I am super excited just to own these. I've already read them, but I'm stoked for the third and final that comes out in late fall of this year. The last book I have to show you isn't exactly a book. It is a cookbook. It is the Bob's Burgers cookbook, to be specific, and I just wanted to show you because I got it as a present from my fiance for Christmas, and I just thought it was so cute. It has a lot of the different recipes of the burgers that are shown on the TV show Bob's Burgers. It has all these cute little illustrations. There's Tina and Jimmy Jr. So yeah, it's really cute. I think he picked it up at Newberry Comics, so if you're interested in Bob's Burgers and want to pick it up, that's where he got it. So yeah, I thought I'd show you. So that's it, everyone, for my first ever book haul. I am so excited and glad I was able to share all those books with you. I will talk a little bit more about the ones that I tackled in the month of January at the end of the month for my wrap up. Thank you so much for watching. If you enjoyed it, please give it a big old thumbs up and subscribe. I'm gonna make new videos every Monday. And as usual, if you haven't got enough of me, you can follow me on all of the social medias. I have Tumblr, Twitter, Instagram, and Goodreads. I am Kirsty the Worsty on all of them, except for on Twitter, I am just Kirsty the Worst. So, alright guys, have a wonderful rest of your week. Bye!